What was that?
That was the Rick Ross cross.
Was it? Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Zach with StrictlyShisha. These are my friends.
My name's...
I was going to say I don't know if I claim them, but I guess I have to. So please, introduce yourself now.
My name's Ahmad.
My name is Rick Ross. My name is Rami.
Dude, you just ruined it.
Rami Ross.
Rami Ross.
And we're doing the first look at the Starbuzz 1.0 Chiller American-made hookah. And this thing is a beautiful piece, and it's something I would recommend to anyone looking to buy a new pipe. Let's get your first impressions on the look, guys. You guys are longtime KM smokers and longtime smokers in general. You guys have seen my vast collection. You guys know I smoke a lot of different hookahs. There's always a place in my heart for the Starbuzz stem. So what do you guys think about the look?
Aesthetically, it is amazing. I think you could put it with a KM, you could put it next to a Shika, and it'll always stand out. It just looks beautiful. It is a beautiful piece.
And I know you wanted the blue one. I know you love
Yes.
blue. Okay, but now that you got this black one, what do you think about the black finish in front of
I
you?
still think the black looks amazing. Especially with this base, it matches. It looks really nice. Very
Yeah, I
comfortable.
think it looks really good. This is a Starbuzz premium base. This does not come with the package. But the black base with this matte back finish, I think it just looks really nice. What do you think?
Aesthetically, I think it looks great. It definitely stands out. It doesn't have the wow factor, but you know, it's very unique looking. It's not too flashy, but I mean, of course, with the right base, it does make it pop. But yeah, aesthetically, I think it's definitely different.
It's a modern, minimalistic hookah. It just speaks for itself, I guess, if you can use to smoke it. So you guys are taking your hits now, and you guys are used to the draw on the KM. You know, you've smoked my hookahs and stuff, but what do you guys think about this draw? How is the restriction? How is the performance? What do you guys think?
The draw is perfect. I mean, of course, with the KM, I feel like the draw is a little more wider, so you know, you don't have to inhale as hard, but I feel like the restriction on this is you don't inhale very hard, but it's smooth. It's not too hard, it's not too open, so I think it's just perfect.
It is just the right amount of restriction. When you're smoking it, you really feel like all the hits you're taking are purely smoke, and you don't have to keep inhaling to get, you know, more of that smoke like you would on some of the KMs or something with a wider, like much wider draw.
Yeah, I am personally a huge fan on the draw of the Starbuzz. Starbuzz are known for their nice, wide open, effortless draw. In comparison, the Regal, though, is a little more smaller down stem, so you're getting a little more restriction. But restriction does not translate to restriction at all. It's a nice, easy draw. I think it's the perfect amount of restriction there. It's really nice. It's one of my favorite draws, and something that I love smoking out of. I get really good results out of this. Hey, what are we smoking?
So we are actually smoking Trifecta. This is, as I call it, a mixture. What do you call it? I don't know.
This is a Trifecta Tabletop Mix Kilo. And I absolutely love Trifecta. And you guys, this is your first time smoking Trifecta, and we're actually on our second round of Coles now. And he asked me a question, and I was like, what a stupid question. He's like, is the flavor still good? This is Trifecta, you idiot. This is, of course it's good.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to down El Fakhr, but I'm used to the El Fakhr, you know.
So what do you think about this flavor?
It's amazing. Definitely my first time smoking it. So I think it is the perfect blend. Tastes amazing. Quality is definitely there. I've never smoked anything like it.
Yeah, we started off this session with 4 charcoal flare quarter circle coals, and it was a lot of heat. And he looked at it and he was like, wow, that's a lot of coals on there. And I'm like, Trifecta can take the heat. It will perform. I was like, very seldom have I ever burned a bowl of Trifecta. And he smoked it and he was like, okay, yeah, this is smoking. We were ripping huge clouds, and even after, I'd say about almost 2 hours, we were still ripping clouds. Right. And Rami, I've been telling you about this tobacco, right?
You have.
And now you guys can see for yourselves that I don't just make things up, right?
It is definitely worth it. Like me and Ahmed will smoke, you know, Al Fakhr, we'll smoke Fumari, and towards the end of the session, you'll actually get, sometimes the tobacco, the taste just dulls down. You know, you don't get that same flavor. Like Zach said, it's almost been 2 hours, second round of Coles. The flavor is still as good as when we started the session.
Yeah, definitely.
So does it answer your question? Is the flavor still good?
No, I just first time experience, but it's definitely been an amazing experience with Trifecta, and I will definitely look into getting a kilo.
Oh, kilo.
Yeah.
He's going to spend the money. Oh, wait, it's only $44. It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Yeah.
By the way, there are sales.
Awesome.
If you buy 300 grams or 3 250s, he will take care of you and get free shipping.
Awesome.
Nice.
So Yeah, the guys at Trifecta always take care of us. So, I've done a review on the Starbuzz hookah before. I have a long review if you guys want to check it out many years ago. And as you can see, it's still something that I would recommend to anyone picking up an upgrade pipe or something new to add to their collection. It's an all-around great smoking pipe. But the difference between that one and the one I'm doing a review of today is the fact that this is a 1.0. It's a smaller profile hookah, a lot shorter, great for a desktop, or I mean, even if you want to put it on the ground, you can put it on the ground. But this is a chiller. And these guys have a KM ice chiller that they smoke all the time. Personally, I'm not someone who puts ice in my vase or ice in the chiller. I sometimes have a chiller and I just like leave it there for looks. I don't use it. I don't find the need to because I enhance my sessions with a little bit of mint if I'm looking for that cooling aspect. But you guys put ice in your vase and ice in your chiller, right?
Yes.
And you guys like doing that.
Yes, we always put ice because we feel like it gives it a very cooling effect. And one thing I was talking to Zach about and Ahmed with before is that when you put coals on the tray here and you just let them sit, with a hookah that does not have a chiller, that heat is gonna start radiating down into the stem, and you'll really feel the stem being hot. But with this, it's cold. You can feel it cold all the way down, so I do think it's worth it.
Yeah, that's a great point. If you are someone who likes to rest coals on your tray, that heat will translate into your actual stem, and you'll feel that, and it will become warm, and that can negatively affect your session. So with this, the cooling in this actual stem itself will counter the coals if you leave them on there. And these gentlemen do think that with today's session, it's affecting it positively. Like you guys are getting a nice cool session.
Definitely.
I personally don't taste it that way. I think I just packed a really good bowl and it's not burning. But I could see that this could only help your session. It's not dulling the flavor at all, and it seems to be working very well. So in terms of the chiller, you guys really like the chiller, right?
I think it's a good value. I think it's a plus for you to have.
Definitely.
The one of the big things with this chiller that I see it actually being more functional than other chillers, like even my KM chiller, is the fact that the actual inside of this, and I'll overlay a picture right now, you can see that when you put the ice inside of this chiller, it's actually directly touching that downstem. There are no layers of metal in between. So you're getting the most effect from that ice possible. It's not having to go through this outer coating or through another layer. It's basically gutted on the inside, so you get the most cooling possible. And when we first put in ice, I'm talking about cooling all the way down here. 2 hours later, I mean, it's still cool up here, but it's getting a little warmer down here. But when we first put in ice, I mean, all the way down here, it was freezing.
Yeah.
It was great. It was really cool. I mean, overall, chiller works.
Definitely.
In your opinion?
Definitely.
I think maybe it doesn't work per se, but it definitely doesn't hurt. Looks great on this Mini. I love the way it looks. This was one of my favorite looking Starbuzz hookahs.
Definitely, I agree. And I think one of the biggest concerns with people that they have with the chillers is the condensation that they may get with on the tray or even on the outside. I don't think the condensation on the outside of the actual chiller is a problem, but people think that the chillers condensate onto the tray. Sometimes it may be a matter of how much ice you fill, but with this one I've noticed compared to the KM, I've noticed even if we would have filled it completely to the top with ice, even if it touched the tray, I don't think it would have condensated any onto the tray because of the coating on the actual tray. But with this one, definitely not a problem compared to the KM. The KM, I've not even filled it up all the way to the top with ice, and we've still had condensation on the tray. Like I said, I definitely think it's the coating on this hookah.
So yeah, that was one of my biggest concerns when picking up the hookah. I was like, I don't know if the chiller is going to be functional because I think the condensation will black out coals if you choose to rest them on here, you're ashing them, things like that, and that will negatively affect my session. So when we first started this and the ice was nice and cold, this part here was full of condensation. I mean, it was almost dripping. That was how much condensation, but there was not a bit of moisture on the tray. So that definitely disproved my theory that there would be condensation on that tray, and I'm glad to see that. That was one of the biggest concerns that I have, and now we can safely say that even with ice in here, there's no condensation on the top of the tray, even if you fill it up all the way. So that's a great thing to know now.
I think that's one of the biggest things that's made me more of a Starbuzz, I guess, believer, because of the whole condensation, because that was one of the biggest things that did bother me with the KM chiller.
Yeah, it would just be annoying. Like
exactly.
If you were swapping out the coals, you'd put the coals on and you'd hear that little sizzling noise.
Yeah,
exactly.
like,
the worst noise you hear from your coals went out, your carpet's burning. Right. Either way, it's a bad sound.
You're scrambling to find like a napkin or a towel somewhere
yeah.
just to wipe it down every single time you want to like ash the coals and stuff. So this is definitely more convenient, and it's definitely worth the investment into the hookah, into the Starbuzz Atlantis ice hookah.
So this retails for about $250-ish. We got this from 5starhookah.com, so definitely check out 5 Star if you want to pick up one of these. But for $250, you are only getting the stem, grommets and tray, and I will say that one more time, grommets. Some people had questions about that on commented to me. The Starbuzz hookahs do come with grommets now, so you don't have to worry about that. You get a base, a hose, and a bowl grommet if you guys are interested in that. The base itself is a Starbuzz premium base. It was like 35-ish bucks. We're using the Brandon George Stone Bowl, and it's performing really well with this Trifecta tobacco. Obviously Cloud Lotus, and like I said, the Charcoal Flare quarter circle cubes. And what do you guys think, man? Performance, great?
It is amazing.
10 out of 10.
All right, see, they really like it. Now, we'll revisit this idea, the Purge. He was like, what's the Purge when I asked him the first time. So now that you know what the Purge is, what do you think about the Purge? How does it work functionally?
Purge away.
Let's demonstrate.
Let me demonstrate for you guys.
All right.
Look at that. What a great demonstrator you are. Definitely good at blowing. So,
the base is absolutely clear now, right? After
Yes.
two short purges.
so you tell me about the Purge. You have a KM, you smoke other hookahs. How's the Purge on this?
The Purge is definitely a lot smoother. It's quicker. On the KM, I find myself doing it 2-3 times for X amount of seconds just to clear it completely. And I found myself doing it for 2 seconds on this one, maybe once or twice, and it's completely cleared. It's perfect and smooth.
Purge is very functional, works very well. And the one thing that's beautiful about the Starbuzz hookah, it is machine made. They are all uniform. You could buy 100 different Starbuzz and they will all perform the exact same way. And that for me is really important when it comes to the Purge. The Purge is one of the outlying factors in all of my traditional hookahs. They tend to all be very different. I have some hookahs, Egyptian, Shika, whatever, KM, and the Purges are all a little bit different. Some are more open than others, some are a little more restricted. These Purges will all be the exact same, and this hookah will be uniform. Every single one you buy will be the exact same. Yours at home, ours, theirs, everyone's gonna be the exact same. And I've smoked my Starbuzz for almost 2 years now. I've done my review on it. Definitely check that out if you want to see a detailed review of that hookah. But I still love it. I still stand by it. Tell these guys to buy one. I mean, I stand by my word on that, and I definitely tell you guys at home. And they are covered, which I think is the coolest thing. They are covered by an explicit 5-year warranty. Okay, and that's a big deal. I mean, mine doesn't need the 5-year warranty. It still looks like the day I bought it. The finish has held up. There are no scuffs or dings. I do baby it, but it still looks great. But that's just a peace of mind to have, to know that you are covered by a 5-year warranty.
Right.
So gentlemen, what else do you guys think about this?
I think it is probably our best hookah yet, just
Definitely the best in our collection so far, other than our veteran KM. But I think this one's we're gonna retire the KM for a while.
See, we still have respect for KM. This is just a different look to it. It's just a modern hookah. It is machine made, so it's just gonna be perfect every single time. And like I said, I still love the performance. I love the look. These gentlemen love the look.
Well, let me kind of put you on the spot, right?
Oh, you want to ask me a question? Oh, I'm ready for this.
Right? So we all know he has the...
Just kidding. I didn't rehearse those lines.
We all know he has the Starbuzz without the chiller, right? And before you were thinking, hey, maybe the condensation, I don't know how it's going to be. Now that we've tried it, what do you think? Would you buy this?
I would buy this, yes.
Okay.
Very simple. I would buy this again. I think it is worth the money. $250 is not bad for a hookah that I trust, and I know that when I get it, it's going to be in working condition. It's going to be very nice, and it looks great. These gentlemen said it's not too wow, but it's simplistic, and it kind of speaks for itself when you smoke it. It's a great looking hookah. So I would buy it, and like I said, I'd recommend it to them. I'd recommend it to you guys. Definitely a good product.
Definitely.
Awesome.
So check out 5starhookah.com one more time if you want to buy this. I'm sure other vendors carry it as well. And Shop Starbuzz probably carries this as well, but they were out of a few different items, so we did buy it from 5-Star.
And make sure you do check Trifecta.
Oh, please check Trifecta. Order some of this. You can't even smoke a Starbuzz without Trifecta anymore. It's a staple.
It is definitely not like any other tobacco we've tried.
Definitely.
I think you'll agree.
Believers.
My first time trying it, and I will definitely be a Trifecta customer from here on out. Definitely highly recommend it on my end at least. And I think these two guys here.
But I do just want to put in a disclaimer. Now that when Ahmed was saying that, right, I was remembering those TV commercials you hear about. Oh, this medicine changed my life. We're strong believers, right? It's not like that. Trust me.
It changed his life, honestly. You didn't know hookah before Trifecta.
It changed my hookah sessions.
The smoke is actually very pure. It is just amazing. You don't get this smoke with any other brand. I've tried before.
I think the clouds speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I said 2 hours later, if you're still getting clouds like this and the flavor is on point, this is not burning. This is still smoking great,
Definitely.
Right. So
we've had Fumari. Fumari was, I thought, wow, the clouds. No, this thing definitely
much more.
Yes, and flavors definitely outlast Fumari. Not trying to not trying to down Fumari in any way. It's definitely a
It's still a good flavor, right?
It's definitely a good flavor, but this Trifecta definitely outdoes it, especially price-wise.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. But thank you guys for hanging out with me and chatting with me about these products. I know this was a long review. We just want to hang out and, tell you guys kind of our thoughts as we discuss them together on Trifecta, the tabletop mix, and this wonderful Starbuzz hookah. So thank you guys again, and thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank
Y'all have
you.
a good day.
Now's when you say bye.
You guys have a good night. Bye. Have a good one.
Rick Ross, come on. All right, bye guys.